So I wanted to do fantasy football videos this year because I think our league will be one of the best leagues to watch throughout the year. We have so many good people, so many good picks were made in this draft board, and I will be showcasing all of it. Make sure you subscribe and tune in for every week of NFL football, and we will showcase updates. I will showcase updates personally, but I will showcase everyone's updates if I need to. No one else wants to make videos, and I will make all of the videos, and that's okay with me. And I will be making update videos every single week of the NFL season. So the first thing I wanted to show was the draft board, and then after that we'll be looking at predictions. So if you're interested, tune in. Be having timestamps in the description just to make sure you know exactly where we are in the process. And I'll see you for the NFL season. Let's go. All right. Um So this is Gaga Standard, Gaga Fantasy, whatever you want to call it, 2026. And I just wanted to go over our draft results first and see like what our first few rounds were like and what every person picked, what they were going for, stuff like that. So Lamar Shifty, Adam, he got the first pick. He unfortunately was auto picking, so he got Jamar Chase, which isn't a bad pick. He's still very good and has a really high ceiling. But obviously, the number one is Jahmyr Gibbs lately, so it's a little unfortunate that he missed out on Jahmyr Gibbs, but he didn't show up to the draft, so it's his fault. So that meant Novella Hub, he was able to get Jahmyr Gibbs, which was very good for him. I think he'll be very consistent this year, as as you've seen for many fantasy draft boards and like suggested picks. Jahmyr Gibbs has been at the top of a lot of them. Also, Bijan Robinson, who got taken third by JWBL Baller. So, both very good picks. No brainers for those. Then we got Big Cheeks. He took Puka, which is arguably the best receiver in the draft. You could make the case for Jackson Smith, but Puka, with how consistent he's been the past few years, he's really shown that he can be a top receiver. So I think that's a good pick by Big Cheeks. Now for unknowns, he took Christian McCaffrey, the best running back last year, best running back 3 years ago. He was very good. So not that not that not too bad of a pick for unknowns there. Still gets a really good running back as long as he stays healthy. And yeah, I think that's pretty good. Next we got Mitchell P. He took Jackson Smith. He he is very good, and I was hoping to get him personally, but Mitch was able to take him, which is fine. I got the number 8 pick, so a little bit of the middle. The middle can be kind of tough on a snake draft like this, but it's okay. I think I'm still very happy with my team. So Jackson Smith, very good pick for Mitch there. We got T Murder, took Ashton Genty. He's also a very good running back. Proved it in his rookie year. He's very good. And he could be the star of the show for Las Vegas while they have Kirk Cousins in, since Kirk Cousins can be very good at passing. And I'm a Vikings fan, so of course I know that. But relying on the run game could be an aspect for the Las Vegas Raiders. So Ashton Genty is a very good pick for a team murder there. Next we got James Cook. That's who I took. I took TW Race, obviously, and James Cook. I thought was the best running back on the board still. Jonathan Taylor is very good. He's proven he's very good. But I just have this feeling that he isn't gonna do as well this year as like the past few years. But I just wanted to take James Cook because he's been the very best rusher stats wise lately. I feel like Taking James Cook there was a good play for me, and I'm hoping that he can stay consistent and healthy because I think that pick should pay off for me. I'm really happy I got him at number 8. I thought he'd be taken earlier with how consistent he's been. We got Isaac Moore. He took Jonathan Taylor. I think he's had Jonathan Taylor in past years. He's done very well for him. He's very consistent. Isaac Moore clearly is a fan of his play. Satisfied every year, takes him every year, so I don't blame him for taking him. Next, we got Matty W. He took Saquon Barkley, another great pick. Philadelphia coming off of as a weaker year compared to the year before, but still a very good year for the Philadelphia Eagles. And Saquon was definitely a big aspect of that. Saquon helped me win my Dynasty League last year. He's a very good player, very consistent, and he can explode at any moment. Then we got Leah Worm. She took Justin Jefferson. That's who she wanted from the beginning if he was available. Still a very good wide receiver. And I think he'll be good no matter who's throwing to him on the Vikings. Kyler Murray, J.J. McCarthy, Carson Wentz, whoever. JJ's still the best receiver in the league, I think. But the other receivers before him have better quarterbacks, better proven quarterbacks. That's why they're taken before him. You don't know what's going to happen with JJ, so it's a little bit of a risk, but still a very good pick for Leah there. Then we got John taking Derrick Henry. Now this pick got some controversy in our group. Some people thought Derrick Henry isn't as good as he used to be. Since he got to the Ravens, he hasn't been like the Titans version of him. So I think he's still very good, but it all depends on how much they rely on the run game. If they run with Lamar more, if they run with Derrick Henry more, if they decide to go through the passing game more, because Lamar needs to make sure his passing's in check. But totally depends on how they handle him. But he can pay off, definitely. Good pick by John there. Derrick Henry's still one of the big names in the draft. Then we got Steve, 6-shooter Steve. He's got Omarion Hampton. Very good pick. He was very good last year until he got hurt. He was arguably the best running back for fantasy. I know Novella Hub had him last year. He's very good. I think that's a really good pick for Steve there. Definitely a steal for how late it is in the draft. Getting him in the 13th pick is very good. Then we got Taco Peen. We got Amon-Ra St. Brown he took. Very good wide receiver still. Jared Goff. Going to be throwing to him like crazy. Very good receiver. Just depends on how consistent Jared Goff is. Jared Goff is very good. He was good 2 years ago, obviously, but last year it was a little weaker, in my opinion. But should be fine this year, Amon-Ra, so that'll be a good pick for Taco Peen. So the first round, I definitely think was good for everyone. They all took who they wanted, who they were targeting most of the time. Obviously, I wanted Jackson Smith, but it's okay. I took James Cook, so I'm still very happy. I'm glad I got James Cook. He was consistent, and he's very good. And yeah, first round, definitely good. Happy with that. Now moving on to the second round, it's a snake draft. So Taco Peen had the first pick of the second round. He took Chase Brown. Very good pick. He's very good on the Bengals. A little underrated nowadays. Well, he's been underrated his whole career. We need to see if he'll have a breakout year this year. And if he does, then Taco is definitely a scary team. Especially with his third round pick, Jalen Hurts, but we get to that. Then 6-year Steve decided to go CeeDee Lamb. He needed a receiver, and he took a receiver. Took CeeDee Lamb, best off the board. Very good receiver. I've had him in the past. He's won me many games. He's exploded in some of my games. He's very consistent. I'm very sad I don't have him this year, but it's okay. I'll survive. Hopefully. The Sixers, Steve, definitely a scary team with those first two picks. Next, John took a second running back, which definitely got him some controversy. He took Kyron Williams, so he's got Derrick Henry, Kyron Williams, the 1-2 punch for running backs. John loves his running backs, so I never doubted him if he was going to do that. But still very risky of him with how many wide receivers are going to be taken before he can get one. Because he didn't get a wide receiver into the 4th round, which could hurt him later down the line, but we'll see. Next, Leah took Kenneth Walker. He's on the Chiefs now. Very good on the Seahawks. Let's see how he does in Kansas City. I think he should be good. Definitely makes Kansas City better. Scary aspect to their offense, and I'm excited to see how he does there. Then Maddie took Drake London. Very good wide receiver. He was underrated last year. He could be underrated this year. Depends on how good Michael Penix is, and if they have to rely on Tua, then I have no idea. But Michael Penix depends on how good he is. Drake London could explode. We'll see. Isaac Moore took Devon Achane. He went second running back as well. Jonathan Taylor, Devon Achane, very good 1-2 punch there. That's a scary lineup right there, and definitely a good pick by Isaac Moore there. And I decided to go receiver 2nd round. I wanted to get one of these big receivers. I went with AJ Brown. He's now on the Patriots. I think he's going to be very good with Drake May. If Drake May can be as consistent as he was until the Super Bowl, then AJ Brown will definitely be a good player, I think. I hope he's good, because if he's not good, then that's a horrible pick for me, but it's okay. I'm happy. George Pickens for Team Murder there. I think that's a good pick. George Pickens proved last year that he can be a number 2 wide receiver, a consistent number 2 wide receiver. He was arguably the number 1 wide receiver for a little bit there last year. But CeeDee Lamb's still the main target, I think. So George Pickens, definitely one of the strongest wide receiver 2s there, so definitely a good pick for Team Murder. Next, we got Mitch. He took Josh Jacobs on Packers. He was okay last year, in my opinion. I think he could have been better. Hopefully his second year can be better than last year, but he wasn't as good as he was on the Raiders, personally, I think. But if he's as good as he was on the Raiders, then Mitch's team looks very scary. All these teams are very scary this year. I'm actually very scared of many of these teams, and I'll talk about that later. Then Unknowns decided to go second running back. He went Scadaboo, which is a very good pick. Big Cheeks really wanted him, the pick after him, and you could just tell how mad he got. But Scadaboo, very good running back until he got hurt. Very unfortunate that he got hurt. If he could stay healthy this year, then he can be scary, and he's very good. I'm excited to see where Unknown's team goes with that. So then Big Cheeks had the next pick. He couldn't get Scadaboo, so he went with Breece Hall. Very interesting pick, in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Breece Hall. I had him in the past, and he failed me many times, and he's costed me matchups. I'm personally not a fan of him, but if Big Cheeks thinks he can be good, then I can understand that. Like, some people think he can still be good, and I definitely understand that. But JWBL Baller went with tight end early. He went with Trey McBride. I don't know about that pick. That was an interesting pick for sure. Because once one person takes a tight end, then the other tight ends are going to be taken. And Trey McBride gets taken by Baller. I mean, it's not a bad pick. Trey McBride, very good. If he was going to go tight end there early, I personally would have went Brock Bowers, but then I guess, I don't know. Maybe he's just a bigger fan of Trey McBride since he's been in the league longer, but I would have went Brock Bowers, personally. Then we got Jeremiah Love for Novella. He went second running back. Very strong combo for him if Jeremiah Love is as good as he's expected to be. Jameer Gibbs, Jeremiah Love, that's a scary combo, and Novella could definitely win the league with that combo if Jeremiah Love is as good as people say he will be. Next, we got Lamar Shifty, auto drafter. Rashee Rice, it's not a horrible pick. He's still he's the number one option in Kansas City. So, still a good pick for him. He's got two solid wide receivers. As you can see, it doesn't take a running back until much later, so that could hurt him in the long run. But that's just how the auto draft went. He didn't show up to the draft, which sucks, but it's okay. Then he took Brock Bowers in the third round. I think that's a good pick as well. I love Brock Bowers. I have him in Dynasty. One of my best picks, I think. I'm very excited to see how he does this year. Nico Collins for Novella there. He went wide receiver finally. And he took Houston's best wide receiver, I think. Yeah, I'd say that's the Houston's best wide receiver for sure. And yeah, very good pick for Novella there. Then we got McMillan there. I don't know about that pick for JWBL Baller. I don't know if I'd go to the Carolina Panthers this early, but we'll see how Bryce Young does, but I don't know. JWBL Baller's team definitely has me questioning some things, but if he thinks it'll work, then I understand it, I guess. I don't know. Then Big Cheeks went with Malik Neighbors. I was going to take him, I think. If he made it to me in the third round, I probably would have taken Malik Neighbors. So I was a little salty that Big Cheeks got him, but it's okay. My team's still very good. I took a very good player still, and I'm still very happy with my draft, but still, Malik Neighbors would have been very nice. I think he's going to have a breakout year. Then Unknowns took a third running back. He took Jamal Williams. And I don't know, Javonte Williams, sorry. And it's a good pick. He's the main running back for for the Cowboys. But yeah. Then Mitch, he unleashed the quarterback frenzy. He took Josh Allen, which is a very good pick. Josh Allen has proven that he can be the best QB for fantasy, and he can win many matchups, dropping 30 or 40 points, and not 40, probably 30. It's very hard to get 40 points in football, but especially as a QB, but he's done it before. So very consistent quarterback can definitely win you games in the league. Then Team Murder decided to go for quarterback as well. He went Lamar. I know Maddie was mad about that. He probably would have taken Lamar there. Maddie loves his Lamar pick. But Team Murder took him from him. So yeah. Then I took Lad McConkey. I'm very happy with that pick. I think he is very good, especially if he gets as much action as he did last year, and hopefully more, because I think he could be thrown to even more. But depends on what Justin Herbert goes for. Justin Herbert actually got taken very late, so I'm surprised he got taken that late. But personally, I didn't go for him. But yeah. Next, we got Chris Olave for Isaac Moore. Very good pick. He's very consistent on the Saints. He's been a Saint for a bit. Yeah, I think that's a good pick for Isaac Moore there for a nice wide receiver there. Wide receiver one. All right, next was Travis Etienne. Matt took him, and I think it's a good pick. He's on New Orleans now, so we'll see how he does. But yeah, I think it's a good pick. Next, Leah took Ravion Henderson on the Patriots. I think that's a good pick. Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Not sure yet. I don't know much about him, but not too surprising. And John took his tight end before wide receiver, which definitely surprised a few people. But he was able to get Zay Flowers in the fourth round still, so I guess it worked out. He took Christian Loveland. Colston Loveland, sorry. And yeah, I think that's a good pick for John there. He will definitely be consistent for him on Chicago. And six shooter Steve took Drake May, very good quarterback. Took Patriots to the Super Bowl last year. He had a breakout sophomore season. I probably would have taken him if he landed all the way down here when I took my quarterback. I took my quarterback in the sixth round actually. Yeah, I was able to pick my quarterback late in the round, but yeah, I think all these teams are very good. There will be a lot of competition this year. So I don't think I should go through all of the rounds. I just wanted to go through the first 3 rounds because that's where all the big names are. Obviously, there's bigger names later down the line, but we'll see their full teams later as we talk about more of these league mates. I just want to make videos on them. I guess we can just go through my team. I'm TW Race, obviously, Race 224. I went Tyler Warren, which is the third best tight end I think. And Novella Hub agreed as well. It was Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, Tyler Warren. I decided to take Tyler Warren because I think having a consistent tight end can win you games. Daniel Jones will be passing to him a lot, I think. I had him last year. He was solid. But yeah. Then I took Jalen Warren, so that's why I named my team Warren with Warrens. I guess I can just go to that. We got my team right here. So I faced Team Murder first week. I got Caleb Williams, James Cook, Jalen Warren, AJ Brown, Vlad McConkey, Tyler Warren, Jordan Addison, Casey Conception, rookie. I decided to take a shot at him. Andy Borgales for the New England's kicker. Denver defense I took. I think that's a solid pick. Then for my backup QB, I got CJ Stroud, I got Tyler Algier, I got Brian Robinson, I got Xavier Worthy, and Cyrus Allen. So I went double Chiefs there. So I'm happy with my team. I think it's good. Yeah, I'm happy with my team. We can see the other matchups this week. So we got TW Race versus Team Murder. We got Big Cheeks versus Team Unknown versus Unknowns. We got Taco Peen versus Six Shooter Steve. We got Isaac Moore versus John. We got Maddie versus Lamar. We got Novella versus Mitch. We got JWBL Baller versus Leah. So definitely some interesting matchups this week. I'm excited to see Taco versus Steve. Excited for Novella versus Mitch. That will be a good game. And yeah, I'm excited for Big Cheeks and Unknowns as well. I think Unknowns definitely took an interesting route, and I want to see how his team does. Yeah, he's got Matthew Stafford, McCaffrey. Yeah, I think it'll be a good year. We got $560 on the $560 prize pool, $400 for first, 100 or 120 for second, and 40 for third. So they basically get their money back. It's $40 for each person. $560 prize pool. I'll probably do some predictions after this. Yeah, probably. All right, prediction time. So I'm gonna start with Big Cheeks versus Unknowns. We'll end with me versus Team Murder. So Big Cheeks versus Unknowns. So Big Cheeks got Dak. Unknowns got Matthew Stafford. Got Brees Hall versus Chris McCaffrey. Montgomery versus Javonte Williams. Puka versus Garrett Wilson. McNeighbors versus Devontae Adams. Isaiah Likely versus Dalton Kincaid. Amir Price. Jadarian Price versus Gadaboo. Quentin Johnson versus Jacoby Myers. Jake Bass versus Harrison Butker. New England versus Detroit. Yeah. Two solid teams. They have strengths in different areas. I think Big Cheeks has the better wide receiver core. I think Unknowns has better running backs. I think Unknowns has a slightly better quarterback that could definitely put up 25 points though. He can be getting a lot of touchdowns for the Cowboys. So we'll have to see for that. Dalton Kincaid's better than Isaiah Likely. Scadaboot is better than Jadarian Price for now. We'll see how Jadarian Price is. I think Scadaboot will be better the whole year. And Quentin Johnson's probably better than Jacoby Myers, and Jake Bates versus Harrison Butker. I think Harrison Butker is probably going to get more. New England defense is better. So, yeah. I think Unknowns is going to take this W, though. The Unknowns has the better overall team. Unfortunately for Big Cheeks, I think he's weaker for the running backs, weaker for his flex spots, his tight end. Yeah. We'll have to see. He's got a better defense, though, I think. But Detroit does play New Orleans, so never know. So yeah, Unknown starting 1-0. Big Cheeks starting 0-1. Alright, then we got Taco Peen versus Six Shooter Steve. So, Taco Peen thought it was funny to name himself TW Race as well. Yeah. We got Jalen Hurts versus Drake May. I think Drake May is better, but Jalen Hurts has a better opponent for this week. Chase Brown, probably better than Hampton. Orem isn't going to get as much play as Kyler Williams, so I think Gainwell is better. Unraz versus CeeDee Lamb, that will be a good matchup there. I think CeeDee Lamb will take it against the Giants. He always performs well against them. Devontae Smith versus Terry McLaurin. I think Devontae Smith is better. Tucker Kraft versus Laporta. I think Laporta is better. Odunze versus Coker. I think Odunze is better, but Coker has the better position in his offense. I think Odunze won't get as much action. I think Caleb Williams will be passing to his tight ends and running backs more. Broski Merritt, rookie. No, he's sophomore year. We got versus Jane Reed. I think Jane Reed's better. He's more proven. Aubrey versus Myers. Aubrey's definitely better. Aubrey's shown that he can be the top level kicker 2 years in a row. I think he's good. I have Aubrey in Dynasty, and he's one of my best investments. Very good. And then Minnesota defense versus Green Bay. I think Minnesota and Green Bay face each other, so that'll be intense for week 1. So I think Taco Peen will win this. He has the better overall team, but I could definitely see Steve upset in this matchup. Like Drake May could go off, Hampton could go off, CeeDee Lamb could go off. Like, all these players can explode, but if they don't explode, I think Taco will take the W. Ivy Moore versus John. So Jane Daniels versus Trevor Lawrence. I think Jane Daniels is better, but Trevor Lawrence I think will do better first week. Jonathan Taylor versus Derrick Henry. Jonathan Taylor is better. Jonathan Taylor will be better overall, I think. They face each other, so that will be a good matchup. Achane versus Kyron Williams. I think Kyron Williams is better personally, but Achane definitely explode. And with the Dolphins relying on Malik Willis, they could rely on their run game more and keep Achane moving. So yeah, I think Isaac Moore is very scary with that Jonathan Taylor Achane combo. So that'll be something to look after throughout the year. We got Olave versus Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is better. DJ Moore versus Christian Watson. I think DJ Moore is better, but Christian Watson might have the better situation. But it depends on the chemistry between DJ Moore and Josh Allen. We got Jake Ferguson versus Colson Loveland. I think Colson Loveland is better. He will get more action. I think Caleb Williams will be passing to his tight ends a lot. We got Bucky Irvin versus Jane Higgins. So I think Bucky Irvin is better here, just because he's the clear RB1 on Tampa Bay. They face Cincinnati. I don't think Cincinnati's defense is that good compared to Buffalo's. I think Bucky Irvin would take that. Michael Wilson versus Josh Downs. I think Josh Downs is better, but it depends on how much action he gets. I don't know much about Michael Wilson, so yeah. I'd have to give the edge to Josh Downs there. And Will Reichard versus Tyler Loop. I think Tyler Loop is good. He'll probably score more points. I think Minnesota will have more touchdowns than field goals. But Will Reichard won't be as good as usual, I guess you could say. I'd have to give the edge to Tyler Loop. And Dallas versus LA Rams. Obviously, the Rams have the best defense with how many moves they made. So I do think that John has the edge there on defense. But I'd have to give overall, I'd probably choose John. I'm really liking John's second half right here. Like the second half of his team. Like, I'm not a big fan of his quarterback and running back choice of Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers, and Christian Watson isn't the best combo, but if the second half of his team can do good, I think his team can definitely put up consistent points. I'd have to give it to John. So John 1-0, Isaac Moore 0-1. So we got Taco beating Steve. We got Unknowns beating Big Cheeks. We got John beating Isaac Moore. We got Maddie versus Lamar here. So I think Maddie has much better running backs than Lamar, because Lamar auto drafted his team. So he got griefed for his running backs for sure, because he's got 2 Carolina running backs. So that is a bad sign for Lamar. I think Lamar will be a free win here for Matt. Yeah, Matt has just a much better team compared to him. Like, the auto draft scammed Adam, and it sucks that Brock Bowers is stuck on Lamar's team. And he's already got an injured player in already. I guess Jordan Tyson is hurt already. Yeah, not a good sign for Lamar. He's got Kelsey on the bench. He's got Brock Bowers and Kelsey, so I think that's gonna be an easy win for Maddie. Maddie 1-0. Let's see. We got Novella versus Mitch. Now this is a matchup that I have no idea how it would go. We got Sam Darnold versus Josh Allen. Mir Gibbs versus Josh Jacobs. Jeremiah Love versus Baseball 2N. Nico Collins versus Justin Smith. Jackson Smith, sorry. Burden versus Agbuka. Yeah. So I think I like I like Mitch's team more personally. I'm not a big fan of DK Metcalf, but you never like Novella's got the best running back, and he's got Jeremiah Love, who could be a monster. But it's week 1. Will Jeremiah Love explode week 1? Probably not. But Mitch's running backs are so weak compared to Novella. But his wide receivers, Justin Smith, and quarterback Josh Allen, it's gonna be scary, and he's got Houston defense as well. I don't know. And Chargers play Arizona first week. I'm not sure about this one. I don't know if I can choose one. I guess I'd choose Novella just because he's more projected. If I don't know who, I'd just go with the projected. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go with Novella. But it could easily be Mitch with this Josh Allen and Jackson Smith. Alright, GWBL Baller versus Leah. So Patrick Mahomes versus Jackson Dart. I think Jackson Dart could be better, but Patrick Mahomes could be more consistent here. He's coming off of an injury, so not sure how he will perform. He does play Monday night, so could be the decider for this match. Bijan versus Travion Henderson. Bijan's better, obviously. Quinshawn versus Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is better. McMillan versus Justin Jefferson. I think Justin Jefferson's better. Marvin Harrison versus PJ Washington. I think PJ Washington is better. Trey McBride versus Kyle Pitts. I think Trey McBride's better. DeAndre Swift versus Charbonnet. I think DeAndre Swift is better. Mekhi Lemon versus Wan'Dale Robinson. I think Wan'Dale Robinson's better just because Mekhi Lemon is a rookie after all. Fairbairn versus Boswell. I think Boswell is better, but they're both very good. Pittsburgh versus Seattle. I think Seattle's better. I might have to give it to Leah here, but that pick of putting Charbonnet in, not a big fan of the Charbonnet pick. I'd probably throw in Stephon Diggs or Hawkinson. Yeah. I'd probably put Hawkinson in instead of Kyle Pitts, actually. Because I'm not a big fan of Kyle Pitts for fantasy because he can be so inconsistent. But, yeah. I think I'd have to give it to Leah, even though JWB Baller has the more projection. So I definitely could be wrong there. Could be JWB Baller just because of Leah's team right there, but we'll see. Finally, we got TW Race versus T Murder. This is my team. So I think Caleb Williams is going to be a sleeper pick this year. He's on the cover of Madden, which could be bad for me. He's got the Madden cover curse, but I think he's better than Lamar, but Lamar could easily be better than me, than Caleb Williams, so I guess I'll just give it to Lamar then. James Cook versus Ashton Jeanty. I think James Cook is better. Jalen Warren versus Stevenson. I think Jalen Warren's better. A.J. Brown versus George Pickens. I think A.J. Brown's better. Ladd McConkey versus Mike Evans. I think Ladd McConkey's better. Tyler Warren versus Mark Andrews. I think Tyler Warren's better. Jordan Addison versus Courtland Sutton. I think Jordan Addison's better. I think Aaron Jones is better than Concepcion, though. Borregales versus Cam Little. I think Borregales is going to be better. Denver versus Philadelphia. I think Denver's better. But I think, other than 2 or 3 players, 2 or 3 positions, I think I have the better players than Team Murder. So I think I will be able to take care of business here. I think Warren with Warrens will be able to take the 1-0 lead. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy with that week 1. I think it'll go well. But yeah, those are the predictions. See how the year goes. So I'll be giving you guys updates every week of how the Gov Fantasy is going and who lost, who won, who's in those standings lead, favorites for the win, favorites for who's going to win the $400. It will all be here on YouTube, on Race224's YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you for an update video for week 1 of NFL football. Let's go.